Well, guys, I must be honest. I was not sure when the Republicans would actually elect a Speaker of the House. I really didn't have much faith that they would actually get it done. And if they actually did get it done, it would probably actually be a more moderate Republican, essentially almost a Democrat. If that was the case, you could have just kept Kevin McCarthy. Now, when Matt Gaetz actually voted Kevin McCarthy out, the Republicans really kind of spiraled out of control. They refused to actually support a conservative wholly. They didn't. They didn't want to do it. Jim Jordan, I thought that he would actually get the job, but no. Republicans did not want him. Byron Donalds actually threw his name in the hat. He did not get enough support. And then I was kind of getting scared because then the Republicans nominated a very, very moderate, probably the most moderate guy in the conference, who is essentially a Democrat. And guys, it's bad when you got Democrats talking about, oh, Emmer? Oh, yeah, we may actually vote for him. That guy needs to go. He dropped out. And then a lesser known Republican, Mike Johnson, got votes. And they said they were actually going to bring the votes to the floor. And I was thinking, all right, let's see how this actually goes, because Mike Johnson is an actual conservative. And guys, I was shocked. He got a unanimous vote by all Republicans to be the next Speaker of the House. You can see right here on Breitbart, Rep. Mike Johnson elected Speaker of the House with unanimous GOP support. Now, you know what? Probably what happened is that the Republicans probably knew that a moderate was not going to get it done. The Freedom Caucus was not going to vote for a moderate. And actually, the base, the Republican base, wants a conservative. And that's what we actually got in the end. Mike Johnson from the great state of Louisiana. I lived many years in Louisiana. I love Louisiana. He is now your Speaker of the House. He got 220 votes. He only needed 217 to actually win. And he won. And of course, Democrats, they voted for Hakeem Jeffries. A lot of people don't believe that Hakeem Jeffries is actually really the leader of the Democrats. It seems like he wants to be an Obama type of politician. But a lot of people believe that Nancy Pelosi is still pulling the strings over there for the Democrats, and he's essentially a puppet. But anyway, let's get into this, and then we'll get into Hakeem Jeffries. Representative Mike Johnson, a fourth-term conservative who was currently the vice chairman of the House GOP conference, has the speaker's gavel within reach, and it seems to be on the brink of ascending into the presidential line of succession on Wednesday afternoon. So I'm assuming this is actually written before the final tally. But we do know he does now have the votes. So he is now the 56th Speaker of the House. President Trump supported him. Matt Gaetz also supported him. Everyone voted for him. Everyone. Finally. And this is also surprising too. This is the first time since 2011 when a Republican speaker has been elected with a unanimous vote. Unanimous. So this is good news here. Tom Emmer, he was not going to get it done. He was not going to get it done. I don't even know why they even thought about electing him. I mean, it was chaos, man. It was real, true chaos. And people were saying that Matt Gaetz did not have a plan in place after he ousted Kevin McCarthy. But it worked out in the end. So now we'll have to see what happens with Ukraine and Israel, if they're going to put up any money. And something is telling me, man, that even though he's a staunch conservative, we know that there is a lot of Republicans that want to fund Ukraine. So we're about to see how much power he's actually going to have, because I don't believe that one single dime should ever go to Ukraine again. Beijing Biden wants $100 million, like $70 million going over to Ukraine. Joe Biden has already pledged $100 million to pretty much Hamas. Yeah, all this spending, man, is out of control. It is out of control, man. It's just way too much spending. And why in the world are we still funding foreign wars? Joe Biden has already pretty much has us on the verge of World War III. And I believe, I'm being honest, I believe it's going to happen. We will be at war. 2 battle groups already out there. American military bases already getting attacked by Iran. I believe it's happened like 13 times over the past week. Yeah, folks, we're pretty much in war. We're going to go to war. We shouldn't be there. None of this should be happening. You know, if Donald Trump was in office right now, none of this would be happening. Joe Biden is a warmonger. You got quite a few Republicans also that love war. Nikki Haley would never, ever get my vote for president because she wants to fund war. There's a bunch of them, man. A bunch of them that are united with Democrats to fund war. I say no. It should not be happening at all. But let's go ahead and dive into good old Hakeem Jeffries now. Because Hakeem Jeffries, man, he is melting down over Mike Johnson winning the speaker's gavel. Kind of funny. We got a couple of clips here, but I want to dive into this one here first, right here. Now, when he was actually speaking, because he's actually the one that actually gave the gavel to Mike Johnson. He gave the gavel to him. And boy, he made some comments first here before he even gave him the gavel. This particular one right here, he talks about Joe Biden actually winning in 2020. Hakeem Jeffries makes it seem like, you know, everybody on the right is an election denier. But of course, you know, Democrats, they're perfect when it comes to acknowledging elections. Listen to this.
Let me conclude. Let me conclude with an observation about the state of our democracy. Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election. He's doing a great job under difficult circumstances, and no amount of election denialism will ever change that reality. Not now, not ever.
Yeah, he says Joe Biden is doing a great job. No, he's not. No, he's not. Joe Biden is a disaster. But he brings up, you know, elections denying right here. Yeah, saying he won. But this is Hakeem Jeffries right here on election denying. Look at this here. Talking about Donald Trump right here. Keep pouting. History will never accept you as a legitimate president. Talking about Donald Trump. Now, this is November after the 2020 election right here. Also right here, August 8th of 2020. Let's be clear, Donald. The only person trying to steal the election is you and your buddies in the Kremlin. So he's bringing up the Russia collusion hoax right there, which was a hoax started by Hillary Clinton. What else we got here? The more we learn about 2016 election, the more illegitimate it becomes. America deserves to know whether we have a fake president in the Oval Office. Hashtag Russian interference. Hakeem Jeffries denying elections. That's one more here from 2018. Lie. More than any administration in the history of the Republic, cheat 2016 election Russian interference, still one or more Supreme Court seats, and will Republicans put country ahead of party? Yeah, This man himself is an election denier. And also now, he is melting down over Mike Johnson winning the speakership. Look here on the Hill. Jeffries calls Mike Johnson an extreme right-wing ideologue. Yeah. So let's listen to a little bit of this clip here, and then we're going to read some more about what he said.
Of my colleagues and what they understand about this is servant leadership. We're going to serve the people of this country. We're going to restore their faith in this Congress, this institution of government.
I don't know Mike Johnson well. Based on his track record, he appears to be an extreme right-wing ideologue. Mike Johnson wants to criminalize abortion care and impose a nationwide ban.
The question here.
Yeah, that's part of what he said right there. But there is more on what Hakeem Jeffries actually said here. He said, Mike Johnson was one of the chief architects of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Mike Johnson also wants to end Social Security and Medicare as we know it. Those are extreme views, and House Democrats will push back aggressively against that. Jeffrey said, however, that Democrats would be willing to work in a bipartisan way with Johnson if he wins. However, at the same time period, this is quotes, we said from the very beginning of this Congress and demonstrated that we are ready, willing, and able to find common ground with our Republican colleagues in order to advance bipartisan solutions to solve problems for hardworking American taxpayers. And all Mike Johnson will need to do is to meet us in a bipartisan way in that fashion. And we'll be able to work together whenever and wherever possible, he added. Yeah. Hakeem Jeffries, man, he is something else, man. Something else. Now, Mike McCarthy, you know, this whole thing, man, should be a wake-up call for Mike McCarthy. Because he was plotting with Democrats to save him in case he was actually outed. Guess what? None of them came to the rescue for Mike McCarthy. He got played by them. You cannot trust these Democrats. Mike Johnson, don't trust these people. These people are socialists. They don't believe in putting Americans first. They want to put Americans last. They align with Joe Biden, who is destroying this country. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.